Like, what would happen if you what would happen if you met David today? How would you feel about that meeting versus, say, meeting David, let's say, before you heard the Black Hands podcast, which has got a particular angle? How would you feel about, like, having a coffee with David today?
I've often thought about that, and I don't know. I guess I would have to make it clear for myself in my own head or verbally that, I was playing a role. My job was to interpret a story that had been written. I'm an actor interpreting a story, so there's no personal stuff. I know that it's likely that he won't watch it or won't want to watch it, and I know that there's still a lot of feeling and stuff around the whole thing with regard to everything. So that is my take on it. Would he want to have a coffee with me? I don't know.
I'm just thinking if it happened. I mean, when I say I didn't want you to think I was saying, would you do it or not? Like, yes, I would. I was like, obviously,
I would.
There was this character who, if you had not this character, this human being, this David Bain, who you could have come across 3 years ago for a coffee. Do you think if you sat down with a coffee for him today, you personally would have a different feeling towards him based on what you've gone through now?
Yeah, I don't know. Possibly. I mean, I don't know. It's because that hasn't happened yet, or if it's unlikely it ever will. You see a lot of journalists on television interviewing, say, Donald Trump or whoever, and they come across as dun, 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 dun. And Hannity's known as this hardcore or little off the wall kind of. The show Hannity and Tucker Carlson. And then you hear anecdotes about them privately being good guys. Don Lemon, apparently his sister died recently, and he, on his show on CNN, thanked Sean Hannity, who reached out to him to say, look, I'm really sorry to hear what happened. Now, it's not the Hannity that we're presented with every day on Fox News, is it? Some guy who would reach out to the competition's one of the competition's top anchors and say, listen, man, I'm really sorry, And so there's a difference between what we're presented with on television and what goes on behind the scenes to a point. Does that make sense? So,
yeah,
if I was to meet him, I guess we would be two guys. He'd know that I'm just an actor playing a role. You know what I mean? I don't know. Is that clear? I don't know. I'm kind of making it up as I go.
Oh, that's called life, Joel. Just make it up as you go along.
It's interesting. It's an interesting because this subject is still so in our minds for people of a certain age, and it's still so raw for a lot of people, and it was quite raw for us being in it. I had days where it was very hard because of what was going on.